don't think people understand how crazy this beer journey has been. From the wildest flavours to the most unexpected brews, it's been a roller coaster of taste. So if you had a blast with us, why not give that like button a gentle tap? It really helps us out and keeps the beer flowing. Go ahead, subscribe for more wild beer adventures with Shagdog and Jammer. You won't want to miss our next crazy review. And hey, don't be shy. Share this madness with your friends and drop a comment below. We love hearing your thoughts and beer recommendations. Until next time, keep it frothy, keep it funky, and always remember to watch the Spit or Swallow Beer review. Cheers! And that's a wrap for this one.
Hey, welcome to the Spit or Swallow Beer Review. I'm Jammer.
And I am Shagdog.
Yeah, Shagdog, Master Bader of Ceremonies here.
Master Bader of Ceremonies.
We're ready to rock and roll. I'm jumping in. Here we go.
Drinking the same beer, using the same glass, but I almost flicked I cleaned the glass out and flicked the water out when I get up here. I almost flicked a little bit of that beer out from the last one.
Oh, look at that.
But the same type of beer, so no need to rinse the glass out, right?
Nah, not really.
It's my germs, right?
Your beer.
Right.
Yeah, so we were on a wild ride there of different stories and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how some stories just come back. I know I get repetitive sometimes, tell the same stories over again. That's what the dementia, right?
The dementia.
It's an Italian word, dementia.
Dementia. Yeah. You're a mooch.
Yeah. Minnie the Mooch, right? Hey, I watched this guy. I don't know his.
Minnie the Moocher.
I watched a video about the Riot Jammer. I forget his kid's name. He goes around to different things and films it. He's kind of conservative, but he lets it out a little bit. But anyhow, some dude, Mexican, Hispanic dude at the LA riots noticed him. But he was calling him, "You're a cop. You work for them. I'm going to kick your ass. Get the fuck out of here." Whatever. But anyhow, the guy was getting irate with him. Was wearing a Goodfellas t-shirt.
Yeah.
You
know what's crazy is that I remember different movies that I watched when I was a kid. One that I remember really in depth is, of course, Scarface. Classic movie. Godfather was another. But one of the movies I remember as a horror movie that was really impactful in the sense of just the story was The Evil Dead.
Ooh.
I was up there in Maryland, in Baltimore, at my aunt and uncle's house, and my cousin had rented the movie, and he was playing it for us. My cousin, now you have to remember, is about 5 to 10 years older than us.
Wow.
And as little kids, we're watching it. And he stops it as we're watching it, where he's about to dismember his girlfriend. He goes, "Hey, you think he's going to do it? You think he's going to dismember her? You think he's going to cut her up?" You know, he pauses it and then lets it go, and then pauses it. He keeps pausing it, doing that kind of stuff to us, just kind of, we're wondering about it and everything. And I just remember that movie, the horror movie, I remember hearing about the Human Centipede, but I never watched it per se.
Yeah.
I only watched parts of it. It just doesn't seem like a movie that I would be interested in.
Yeah, I've never seen that one. First horror movie that really, there was a couple of horror movies that scared me when I was a little kid, but the one that scared me, and I was about 12. So I wasn't like a little kid, but first one that really scared me to walk home from a friend's house, me and my younger brother watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at a friend's house.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had to walk home. It wasn't that far of a walk, about 4 blocks, But
yeah.
I'm like, it was dark, and I'm like, come on, let's get home. fucking Leatherface is gonna get us.
You know, the crazy thing about The Hills Have Eyes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Um, what is the other one I'm thinking of?
Halloween.
Halloween was an awesome one. I really liked Halloween.
Yeah, I liked Halloween.
Original.
Halloween, original one, part two, and I even like. I'm one of the rare few people that like part three. I just like how they went a little different route. Yeah, with the mask.
But as far as it goes, horror movies go. Some of the '70s, early '80s horror films are some of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy movies. You know,
Even the
they
music.
didn't have the best special effects. They didn't have the best music or what.
Oh, they had some good music for the time. You know.
Yeah. But they were pretty awesome in a lot of ways. Like I said, The Evil Dead, it was had some classic scenes in it,
Yeah.
you know, and then Halloween, of course, Freddy. But I remember as a kid watching Creature Feature, which was a lot of different old films from the 50s, even 40s for that matter, 50s, 60s, 70s. Dracula, Billy the Kid meets Dracula, Frankenstein, all these crazy
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, and then one I remember which was it? Geez, I can't remember now. I just had it and I lost it. The Twisted Brain. This was a crazy one. The Twisted Brain. I saw it on Creature Feature with Dr. Paul Bearer. And the Twisted Brain. The kid.
There's actually somebody called
in the school.
Paul Bearer.
Yeah, Dr. Paul Bearer. He was a weird-looking guy.
Not the Undertaker's manager, Paul Bearer. No, totally different.
But he would have films on, and in between the film or in between the commercial breaks and all that stuff, he would come on and say something and do stuff and da-da-da-da. Anyway, I met him too at one time and got autograph from him. But the movie was called The Twisted Brain, and it was about a kid. He kind of goes crazy, but his one teacher was really messing with him, and he turned around and got her shoved into him in a paper cutter. One of those paper cutters, chopped his head off. You know, and then took the body and the head and put it in a barrel of sulfuric acid. You know, and you can imagine. Here I am as a little kid seeing this crap, and I didn't get scared or anything, and didn't have horror dreams, the kind of nightmares or anything like that. But it was pretty impactful when you see it because you don't forget it.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
The Evil Dead. I never saw those. I think I saw part 2 a little while after it came out. I never saw part 1 for a long time. Oh, I did see it eventually, but when back then, yeah, back then I didn't see it. It wasn't until like the early 2000s I finally saw the original one.
You know what was fun is and a lot of kids won't know about it today. But what was really fun is that we would go down to the local video rental store and look for videos to rent.
Right.
I used to enjoy going in there. They used to have, like Blockbuster used to have popcorn. So did some of the other mom and pop shops. They used to have popcorn there, and you'd get a bag of popcorn and walk around the store looking at the different movies and stuff like that, and pick you a few movies to.
And going towards the checkout, they had all the type of snacks you'd find at a movie theater, Raisinets, whatever.
Yeah. And what was really funny too is that I talked to the person who owned the one store that I used to go to, and I said, what do you do with the posters when you're done with them and all that stuff? What do you do with the videotapes when when you're done renting them out and all that stuff? Well, they ended up selling some videotapes to me and selling posters to me for real cheap prices and stuff like that. And I have Star Trek whenever they came out with the series videos, the episodes and all that
Like
stuff.
Next Generation.
No, the actual original series
Oh, really?
episodes and everything when they were putting them on video cassette.
Oh, okay.
I got a poster for that. I got a poster for whenever they were 20th anniversary or whatever like that. And stuff
You still have them?
Oh yeah, I still have them.
You should sell those.
They might be worth something, yeah.
Yeah, and you can sell it and invest it.
And yeah, I probably would. But I remember buying different posters, and some posters they gave me for free. I mean, there was some weird ones. Back to the Future, I got different stuff.
Yeah, you don't have that same feeling going to Blockbuster, going to Netflix or Max or whatever thing you're on. You don't have flipping through the movies on that ain't the same as going to a video store.
No, and I miss the movie theater because I used to love going there, and the whole experience. I don't like going to it now because it's not the same.
I mean, where I lived in Florida, I used to still go to the small town one I lived in because it was still a small town feel to that movie theater, and I would only go during the summer, some not all the movies, but 2 or 3 movies in the summer I might go see. That's about it usually, but.
Now,
But
go ahead.
I'd go during like when it's not packed, like Tuesday afternoon when the shit opens at 11 noon, whatever time it was.
I remember going there and seeing Grumpy Old Men.
Shit, we went there to see Lord of the Rings when it came out, the first one together, and you're like, this fucking sucks. You're like, this still makes sense.
I remember watching it. I've grown to appreciate it over the years, I like it better now.
And we saw Pearl Harbor together down at the Starlight 20 or whatever it was. And my new girlfriend at the time I was dating for a month, she was mad because I went with Jammer to see Pearl Harbor.
Well, I thought it was going to be more action than what it was.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Romantic story. I mean, what the fuck?
I would have took my girlfriend if I knew it was more romantic. But we did get some good beers before we went in there. We stopped at a restaurant before we went in.
I remember sleeping in there too.
Yeah. You slept in the movie theater?
Yeah, I remember sleeping during the Pearl Harbor movie.
I didn't sleep at all, but we went to cheer. Guess where we went afterwards? That was the best night ever at karaoke because we went to our local karaoke hole in the wall and Cheers, and nobody was singing. It was Memorial Day, and nobody was singing. It was me, you, and one other guy, and we must have done like at least 10 songs apiece before someone else started singing.
Yeah,
we were rocking the house.
Yeah, I mean, the feel when you went to the movies, it was altogether different, and everything.
Yeah. I saw Star Wars when it came out. I was like 5 years old at the drive-in movie theater. Went with my parents, I think a couple of friends of my parents, and me and my 2 brothers. I don't think Diddy remembers that at all, but because he would have been 3 years old or maybe 4.
Hey, I remember going to see Star Trek 3: The Search for Spock. I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
My sister says I saw the Rafikon. I don't really quite
remember
that.
I saw both. With that one, we went with my father. My mother left my father. I was like 4 or 5, but we saw Rathacon, Search for Spock, and The Voyage Home.
I remember I wanted to see Octopussy, right? Hey, there's Jammer fan. I wanted to see Octopussy and ended up seeing E.T. because of the age requirement and all that stuff. And you know what? I was in that theater, and at the end of the movie, people got up and clapped.
Octopussy?
No, E.T.
Oh, you went and saw E.T. instead?
I didn't want to see E.T., but I didn't have much of a choice because the age requirement for the...
That happened to me. I think the first PG-13 movie was Red Dawn.
Yeah.
And me and my friends went to the movie theaters, about 4 of us, and Red Dawn was out, and was it Purple Rain or something else? It might have been some stupid horror comedy.
Rain,
I can't remember what it was, but I wanted to see Red Dawn. They wanted to go see the other. We went to see the other shit. I think Red Dawn would have been better in 1984, 85, whatever year they came out in the theater. So I didn't get to see it until
the
it came
great
out.
thing is down here they have a Tampa theater. Yeah, Tampa theater, and they'll show different re-show different movies and everything. Right now they're going to show Raiders of the Lost Ark on the big screen again. And of course, Casablanca will be on there and everything. And then there's a bunch of other different little movies and all that stuff. I just remember seeing that they had Raiders of the Lost Ark. I wouldn't mind going to see Raiders of the Lost Ark in the movie theater because back in the day when I saw it, it was on videotape. As soon as it came out on videotape.
Yeah, I think my mother did not pay for us to go to too many movies when I was a kid. You know, a couple sparingly movies here and there in the movie theaters. Return of the Jedi. Didn't get to see it in the movie theater. Had to wait till it came out on TV or some shit. I don't know VHS.
Well, my thing with the movies was that we went on a Sunday matinee, so sometimes we got to see two movies for the price of basically one or whatever.
Right.
Like that. But my dad would take us down there, drop us off, and we'd watch the film, and he would say, "I'll be right here waiting on you when the movie comes out."
Yeah.
And he would be every time he was right there waiting on us and expecting us to walk out at that time and pick us up. We would see all these different movies there, and it was awesome.
Yeah, a few memories I had of my dad back then because from the time I was about 11 to 12, my dad had a girlfriend at the time, and she kind of forced him to get us come over. When we went to school with her daughters, they found us. She kind of like forced my dad, hey, have him over every other weekend or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they gave an opportunity. And my dad was a big Star Trek fan, so we saw all the Star Trek movies, 2, 3, and 4, maybe even 5. I can't remember. 2, 3, and 4 definitely I remember. And then Tron, I think I saw with him in the movie theater. So that was the only time I got to go to the movie theaters was at that time. So that was pretty cool. And then I never saw him again since I was 14. Oh, well.
Have another beer.
I got some more left in this can, Sprite. I didn't even pour the whole thing out.
The crazy thing is Unforgiven. I went to see Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood in it, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
At this movie theater that I used to always go to and everything. And as I'm watching it,
Clint Eastwood showed up. Oh.
In the film, it starts to rain and thunder and all that stuff when he's being hunted down and all that stuff.
Right.
Well, little did I know it at the time, but it was pouring down rain and thunder and lightning. So I'm hearing all this thunder and everything, and I'm thinking it's the film.
Was that the Z Hills or Dade City Theater?
Dade City.
Yeah, I've had that happen at Z Hills before too. Yeah.
And it's thundering down, lightning and all that stuff, and I'm hearing all this stuff, and I have my knees up on the seat in front of me. I laying back and have my knees up, my legs up on the seat in front of me and everything, and I'm watching this film and everything. I finally go to adjust myself, and I sit up and I put my feet back on the ground, and all of a sudden I hear it splash. I'm like, what the fuck? And I put my feet on it. My feet are hitting water. It's like an inch of water there. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, this is the most realistic film I've seen. It's raining and thunder and lightning.
What film was it?
Unforgiven.
Oh, yeah. It was either that or Waterworld, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess there was a leak and the water was coming into the theater. And it was about an inch of water where I was sitting down.
Was that the old theater they closed eventually, or?
That's the one that was Art Deco style down there, right next to the post office area.
I went there with you to see The Mummy, the first Mummy movie there.
Oh yeah,
remember we went to go see that there, yeah. And then it closed probably within a year after that.
Yeah. It's a shame that place closed down because it was very historic, It was.
Yeah. Even the one downtown Z Hills. Remember that little one there?
It's still open.
No, not the one by the bowling alley. The one downtown.
That's what I'm talking about. It was still open for the longest time.
I thought they closed that down. There was a barbershop on one side and something else on the other side of it.
It was showing films. and I think it's still open. To tell you
I
the
didn't know
truth.
that. I didn't even know they were showing films all these years. Wow. I always thought it was closed.
No, I
Oh,
used to
I
go
always
there
went to the
too.
one by the bowling alley.
That's where I was with my ex-girlfriend, and I was sitting. We were walking in there, and we were getting some snacks at the concession. And there was a guy there that looked like Kenny Rogers, and I leaned over to her and I said, "Look," "Look, Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers is here. We should ask him for his autograph." You know.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Stop it, stop it." That's Kenny Rogers. You know? And
Was it
then
really
that
Kenny
started a
Rogers?
whole theme of me seeing famous people
Oh, and
everywhere we walked around, and
we
just like we
saw
saw
Princess
Princess
Diana.
Di, yeah.
Yeah, and it was supposedly what's the other lady's name? The other princess that married one of the brothers, Fergie.
Fergie, yeah.
She was in the Tampa area during that time for whatever
Yeah.
reason, and all of a sudden we're at a bar in a
Ruby
mall,
Tuesday.
and yeah, and we see a lady that looks like Princess Diana, and I actually say, "Hey, well, you look like Princess Diana," and she's
And she had an English accent.
yeah, it sounded just like her. She goes, I've heard," and pretty sure it was her. I don't think she died. I think she faked her death.
I think, well, that was before she died, too. So
No, that was after.
was it?
That was when Princess Fergie came to Tampa area to visit for some reason. Yeah, but she's alive still, I think.
Well, I'm just saying.
I think that's why Harry's in the U.S. He's probably staying close to her.
Probably so. You know, all I know is that
You heard it
the
here
woman
first.
had an English accent. She acted
Look like her body shape, short hair,
and she acted like it was a
She mu-
possibility.
right. She might have dressed a little bit different, kind of down dressed.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else was,
Yeah.
definitely. I think so.
Famous
Yeah, because
people are-
she died in 97 or 98
I'm not sure.
before we met, Jammer. August 90, might have been 97.
Let's see.
When did
When
Princess
did Princess Di die?
die? Die. When did Princess die?
Princess
1997.
Diana, Princess of Wales, died on August 31st, 1997.
97, yeah.
following a
So
car
that's
crash
before we
in
met.
France.
I remember, yeah, because I just moved to Florida, and that was on the news like a month. It was like the end of July, beginning of August when I moved to Florida.
Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I have a good memory with certain things.
Some things you do because you remind me of still like the mummy thing. I don't remember the mummy. You know, I remember vaguely sitting over to the right hand side of the theater.
I don't remember where we were sitting, but I remember we went to that theater to see it. Yeah,
We were on the right hand side of the theater.
we could have. I think we could have been. Yeah, I always sit on the right side. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's probably where we went.
yeah.
But
Only liberals sit on the left.
well, you probably did it because your eyesight. So crazy stuff, man. It's amazing.
I'm glad Jammer fan left a little comment there. That was nice.
Yeah, that was cool. You know, I'm gonna go grab another beer. Hold on.
Hey, I'll go grab one when you get back. All right. Jammer trying to get his beers in. It's like fucking 2:27. I would have been asleep 2.5 hours ago. Loving an elevator, living it up while you're going down. Loving an elevator, living it up while you're going down. Jackie's in the elevator. Oh. Jammer's throwing me off with that chicken balking he's doing or whatever else. All right,
Okay, my friend.
I'll go get mine. Keep the fans, occupied. Two viewers.
Acapado. Okay, so, man, yeah, I started seeing a lot of famous people. You know, I started realizing that I saw a lot of famous people. Kenny Rogers, Princess Di. I think I even saw Johnny Cash. Man, who else? I think it was Burt Reynolds. See, some of these people you actually believe that you might have seen them because they were in the area. I mean, Burt Reynolds, Florida, it's not a big thing for him to have been in Florida. George Jones, same thing. Johnny Cash used to be in Florida all the time. So it quite possibly saw a lot of these people. But yeah, man, he does have a good memory because I don't remember some of this stuff. When he turns around and says the mummy, I vaguely remember the mummy that had what's his name in it. Golly, Brendan Fraser. And I remember that place. It was an Art Deco style movie theater, classic style. I mean, it was just really nice. It had that bubble glass and everything, and it was really nice. They added on to it another theater, which was really cool and everything, but it was really awesome the way they had it. They had a balcony and everything in that theater. It was pretty cool style theater, and it's a shame they tore it down and built a bank.
Yeah.
You didn't hear that, did you?
No, I didn't catch that.
I said it's a shame they tore down that theater because all they did was turn around and build a bank.
Oh, is that what they built there? That was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you, some people that are in charge just think of the stupidest shit ever. You know.
I really do like this
Cheers.
Blue Point toasted lager, Shagdog.
Hey, I remember. I haven't had it in a while, but I think we did it a second time. You know, I remember the first time, but I think we did it one other time years later, where I did it by myself. Maybe I don't know. It was really good. It's a really good lager. Yeah, I like it. It's from Patchagui, Long Island, right?
I think so.
Patchagui.
Well, I don't know if it says it on here or not.
Yeah. What's really weird, Jammer, about Yingling,
It does say that.
they've been around for a long time, but when I lived in Pennsylvania, probably a place, I think they were only, the brewery is only like an hour and a half drive from where I lived or something like that.
Yeah.
I might have heard of them, but I didn't see it. Nobody drinking Yingling in high school or anything. The beer of Pennsylvania was Latrobe at that time, back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s.
Well, the thing about it is they were around, but they weren't as big or popular
Yeah.
or well distributed
Right.
as the other beers and everything. You know,
Yeah.
like you said, Latrobe was the big one, the most popular.
Until it got bought out by Anheuser-Busch, InBev or whatever. And they moved it from Latrobe, Pennsylvania to Newark, New Jersey to Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch
Yeah,
Brewery.
the whole thing when they talk, you know, I wonder, is it
Roller Rock.
when they move the brewery move the brewing of the beer to another location?
Yeah.
Do they stop and think that you still got to ship it and everything? Is it really that financially viable? I mean, when you ship the beer from that location and all that stuff, when
And
they
you
can
figure
make it real close to their places there, you know?
water source.
Yeah, exactly.
Aren't you
Water
paying
source.
people? You have to be paying employees in Newark, New Jersey, right across from New York City, more than people in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, middle of fucking
Yeah.
nowhere in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, watch it now. Watch it. And it wasn't anyone like that.
hmm
Brick's living, right?
Brick's living, yeah. He wouldn't care for that at all. He would be upset.
I still can't find his channel, but that's okay.
He might have deleted it, you know.
Yeah. I might not. I know he had a weird spelling for it, so I just probably can't
It's
find
the
it.
spelling of the car. All you have to do is look up the spelling of the car.
There's a fucking car called Brick's Living.
Yes.
Automobile called Brick's Living. Brooklyn SV1.
hmm
Well, he spelled it different than that, though. Anyhow, one of
I
our.
gotta scratch my armpit.
Hey, do it. pretending to say, yeah.
I felt that was really strange, me having to do this, so I had to announce it and dismiss it.
I rewatched, speaking of movies earlier, the Hollywood movie, Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No.
You know, Bruce Lee's daughter, family, whatever, tried to, I don't know if they succeeded, sue them because of the way they portrayed Bruce Lee in the movie. You know, Brad Pitt's character kicks Bruce Lee's ass or slams him against a car. I thought it was fucking great, and everybody knows it's a fucking made up story of this.
Yeah.
The Manson family people came to their place instead of Sharon Tate's place, and fucking Brad Pitt's character and his dog kills those fuckers, and then what's his name's character with the old blowtorch from his World War II movie gets out and torches
back
the
then,
woman.
I would say people would know the difference, but then again, look how smart some of these people are today. So.
Yeah, I just can't believe it's a fake movie. How are you going to try to sue somebody about, defaming Bruce Lee that he got beat up?
You have people who, they say, this is the weirdest part, right? They say that the more well-educated the person is, the easier they are to manipulate.
Yeah. Or indoctrinate.
And they were talking about how to hypnotize or to brainwash, it was easier to do that with them. And I thought to myself, well, that kind of makes sense because if you're into learning, you've been taught how to learn certain subjects.
Right.
You're not thinking for yourself.
Yeah.
When you think for yourself, you listen, you read, and you, okay, that's a good point, but, they're missing this or they're missing that, and you kind of question things constantly.
I think back to the, George Bush when he was told World Trade Center has been bombed or plane attacked.
He knew about it. Hey, it's gone into effect. Or, maybe you should make a scene now and leave.
But what I want to stress is the class. I saw a video of the classroom. The lesson the lady's given, and the kids would repeat the words. It's something similar to the attack.
Yeah.
You ever see that video? What they're reading is, I probably can't find it now because I'm a little buzzed, but yeah, what she's reading and the kids would repeat. But what really set me off, not the word, because when I saw it, I don't know if that's fake or not, but I remember she put a car, and the kids would, car, bar, car. They're all shouting out the words.
Airplane.
And it seemed very, very brainwashish to me, the way they were being educated. It seemed washish to me. But look that up, Jammer. Because supposedly the story they're reading has shit to do something with the attack. Yeah.
That would be very Masonic.
Let me see if I can Google it real quick. What was the story the kids were reading when George Bush was sitting there while the 911 attacks were going on? Let's see if I can read any of that. My pet goat. The pet goat. Let's see if I can. Here's the video. Let's see if I can get through the commercial real quick.
Recommendation.
Skip.
It's really exciting for me to be here. I want to thank Miss Daniels for being a teacher. I want to thank Whit for being a principal. I want to thank you all for practicing reading.
I think that was Jan Quayle.
It's really important.
And this morning we do have a lesson that we will read with you.
A lesson.
And
Yeah.
it's lesson 60 of our SRA reading. Direct instruction.
I know very well where that came from.
Are you ready, my butterflies?
Butterflies, yes.
Position eyes on me.
Position 1, 2, 3.
Get ready to read all the words on this page without making a mistake.
Brainwashing.
Read this word the fast way. Get ready. Par. Yes, par.
Fly.
What do these two letters say?
R.
Yes, R. Sound it out. Get ready.
R.
What word?
Park.
Yes, park. What do these two
Park.
letters say?
R.
Yes, pick your reader up from under your seat. Open your book up to lesson.
It's the weirdest way to teach. I'd be like, what? What is this fucking class? This is in Florida, Jammer. Ron DeSantis took care of that, though.
At the count of 3, everyone should be on the guest speaker to read you up from under your seat. Open your book up to lesson
Open your book up.
60 on page 153.
Then they had the kids already on the page.
At the count of 3, everyone should be on page 153. If the yellow paper is going to bother you, drop it.
I guess somebody edited
Everybody
the short
touch the
version.
title of your story. Fingers under the title. Get ready to read the title.
You ready, Jammer?
The fast way. We're waiting for one member.
Wait for 1 minute.
Thank you. Fingers under the title of the story.
This teacher's horrible.
Get ready.
Get ready.
Yes, the pet goat. Fingers under
pet
the first
goat.
word of the story. Get ready to read the story the fast way. Get ready.
You ready?
Go on.
She likes to go running with her pet goat.
Go on.
She plays with her goat.
She's
Try
playing with a
again.
pet goat,
Get
I
ready from
guess.
the beginning of
I have
that
a pet
sentence.
goat.
Get ready.
She plays with her goat in her house.
Go on.
She plays with her goat in her yard.
She plays with her goat in her house and in her yard.
It's something that makes her grow.
Let's clean that up. Get ready.
Clean that up.
Get ready.
You ready? All right, this is not as good as I thought it would do it.
Go on. Go on.
I wonder if he was told already. He might have been told already, I think.
Try that again. Get ready.
I think they're showing his face.
Good job. Go on.
I don't think he knew about it, Jammer. I think Cheney and all of them were in on it. I think George Bush was like,
Try that again. Get ready.
yeah, we can get over on him.
Good job. Go on.
Anyhow, I can't understand these kids, and I saw a video about it. But anyhow, some of the shit they were reading about, I can't understand. Anyhow, look it up. What you eating there?
Well, that was just wonderful.
Yeah, it was horrible, but I can't even understand the kids what they were saying. Oh, I hear about some goat. Pet my goat in my house. I pet my goat in my yard. But I saw some conspiracy video about what they were reading, and it didn't sound like that at all.
Well, it happens.
You'll have that. Oh, shit. Let me just pour this in here. I almost drank my can from the opposite side when there was no hole.
I tell you, I really like this beer. I think I would buy this more often if I saw it.
Yeah. I don't see that. I haven't seen Blue Point at all around here. It's a hard find, you know. Matter of fact, I
Got a
haven't
nice
seen
malty caramel bready type flavor.
I haven't seen too many Yankee beers in this area at all, so it must be some type of plot. I have seen a couple Brooklyns occasionally. Well, when I went to Columbia, there's a Brooklyn. Down here in the Augusta area, Brooklyn.
A lot of the beers, all right, let me put it this way. Sierra Nevada, right? They have that. I sent you that thing to your email. I don't know if you saw it.
Sierra Nevada. I might have.
I forwarded an email I got from them.
So they sent you
Sometimes
personally?
a lot of these breweries will send me emails and all this stuff, so I try to share them with you. And they sent about different beers that were special editions or seasonal type beers.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it and everything, and it showed that you could buy them, but if you weren't in a particular state, you couldn't get it shipped to you.
Yeah.
And of course, Florida, I couldn't get it shipped to me. Maybe you could get it shipped to you. You should try it.
No, South Carolina is more crazy than Florida. Remember, Florida, before we get some beer shipped to us, but it costs a lot to get it shipped beers shipped. If you remember that one time I did it from New Jersey, got like 12 beers shipped. It cost me like $100.
Yeah. But what was crazy about it is that I looked at it and I started putting it in there and everything, and I was wanting to ship it and everything because they had some interesting. They had a stout that I really would have liked to have tried.
Sierra
And
Nevada.
everything. Yeah, it was a crazy. You go to their website, you'll see it. I'm telling you.
I've had a stout by them before. I wonder if that's.
Oh, this is a different one. It's never been. You haven't seen it. And unfortunately, I couldn't get it shipped to me, so I was like, well, that sucked. You know.
Yeah.
I was willing to pay the enormous cost
All right.
because I thought it would be good.
I would do that for a rare beer. You know, as long as I get okay, let me get these 10 beers. I'll pay
I
that.
should have done. What I should have done today with you is a beer review of that Alaskan stout I had.
I thought you said you didn't have no beers to review.
Well, that Alaskan stout I have, it's a wine bottle full of it. I could have sat there and did the beer review and then drinking and thinking with you at the same time. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to think before you drink.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, the only Sierra Nevada stout we've done is Norwal.
no, you got to look it up.
No, I'm saying the one that we've done is Norwal on the beer review.
Yeah.
Well, Jammer,
Yeah, my friend.
I can't believe your video about mushroom gravy is the biggest viewed
It's
video.
Jammer fan. It's not me. It's Jammer fan.
Oh no, it's your idea about the mushroom gravy.
The Taker XPA, right? Trip through the woods, barrel aged imperial stout.
Okay.
And then they have Trail Pass, Chico, Hop Splash, Trail Pass IPA.
Trail Pass is a non-alcoholic stuff.
Who run Bartertown?
Yeah, Trail Pass is all the non-alcoholic stuff that Jammer Fan did a couple weeks ago. I wonder if that stout's a non-alcoholic.
No, the stout is not a non-alcoholic. It is a Trip Through the Woods barrel aged imperial stout.
Oh, okay.
It is a Narwhal Imperial Stout, has taken a trip through bourbon, rum, and port wine barrels, emerging rich. 13.8% ABV, 24 IBUs. Tasting notes is dried fruit, molasses, and vanilla. Limit 3 bottles per order.
Sounds awesome, man.
Yeah, I wanted to get it, and it was $25 a bottle.
Wow. $25 a bottle? How big is a bottle?
It's a big bottle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's worth it then. As long as it's not like a 12-ounce bottle.
750 mils.
Okay.
So it's probably, what, 16 ounces or something? I don't know.
750. Let me Googleize that. I'm not Googling it. How many ounces is 750 milliliters? 25.36 fluid ounces. So 25 ounces.
And then there was the Taker XPA, which is an 8-pack of 16-ounce cans for $50, and it was 5.6 ABV, 38 IBUs.
I remember my young days when I had an 8-pack.
Yeah. It's a 750 ml bottle. Yeah. And then they had Pale Bock, Sierra Pale Bock.
That sounds good too. That's another
12-pack of 12-ounce cans.
Tell you what we're going to have to do. We're going to take a trip to Colorado.
I tell you, quite honestly, Shagdog, I would love to go to Colorado, especially during the time period where Big Head Todd and the Monsters are playing Red Rocks.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some girl, make it a couples trip because I know you're not gonna be able to go there by yourself.
Oh yeah, she told me to go without her.
No way.
Yeah, she told me to go to Colorado without me.
I hate flying, but I will fly to Colorado to meet Jammer Fan and hang out with you.
Yeah. What's funny about it is Bill Murray was going to be there this year as an opening act. Bill Murray and somebody else, his band basically,
Oh,
was playing before I think John Bossamosa or whatever his name was, and then Big Head Todd and the Monsters.
Big Head Todd.
Oh man, that would have been awesome to be there to see that, and I would have saw Bill Murray. I would have saw this other Wayne something.
Wayne Brothers.
No, it was Wayne. I forget his name. He's a blues guy.
Wayne Brady. Oh,
and he's really good, and it would have been fun to see that, but. Yeah, unfortunately.
I like to see Seven Mary 3. They're active on their Facebook account now the last year or two, but no shows, no records, no nothing. They're just showing a lot of shit that they've done over the years.
Well, Big Head Todd Monsters, they play Red Rocks every year. This is their 40th year.
40th?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, that since 1985 that they've been around, huh?
85? I think
BHTM Red Rocks.
Wow.
Where is it at? I'm trying to find it here. '40th anniversary. Big Head Todd and the Monsters celebrate their 40th anniversary with 2 sold-out shows at Red Rocks Amphitheater on June 7th and 8th. The band, formed in 1986, has maintained a strong connection to Colorado and frequently performs at Red Rocks. Their 40th anniversary celebrated include openers like Cheap Trick and Cracker, as well as Warren Haynes Band and Bill Murray and his Blood Brothers.
Oh.
Yeah.
We can't pause these little playlists. Look at that Jammer. It's going to disappear real quick. A little tiny alligator watching me barbecue.
Yeah. That would have been really cool.
There's a little baby alligator. Stick it out there. You see it right there?
No.
No. Right there. Ah, shit.
Okay.
See it? His nose and his eyes, head part sticking out. That little fucker was watching. It was like a little tiny one. I mean, his head was probably this big. I was sitting there barbecue by the lake by Lake Wales. I think it's called, is it Kissimmee Lake? I can't remember. I was sitting there with this girl. We went camping, a little cabin there by the lake, and that little alligator was watching me fucking cook on the grill. I was like, oh, this little fucker.
I'm sure it was watching you and not her.
Oh, yeah, because it came up just while I was cooking and popped out of the water. Just his eyes and his little snout was sticking out. A little tiny thing. And I was like, well, wherever a little baby is, there's probably a bigger mama somewhere around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Warren Haynes, that's who it was. That was Bill Murray and his Blood Brothers, Warren Haynes, and then the Big Head Todd and the Monsters. I mean, can you imagine?
I was never a big Murray. Yeah, I was never a big Bill Murray fan ever. A couple things I do like Groundhog Day. I like
that's probably
Scrooge.
the best movie.
Yeah, that and Scrooge I like.
Yeah,
that's probably about it. I mean, Caddyshack, his character in Caddyshack wasn't that big of a character. It was good, all right, supporting actor, but
Ghostbusters was okay.
Yeah, but I think Groundhog Day and Scrooge were his 2 best movies, probably.
As far as it goes, I think you're right on that because I think the storyline and the character itself was good.
Yeah,
and it was complemented by his style of acting.
And an even older one. I'll give him credit for this one too because it's a pretty good movie. Stripes.
Oh no. Yeah, those are okay and everything, but the man who knew too little, the man who knew too little,
I
that
don't
was a
know
really
enough.
good one.
I don't know that one.
The man who knew too little. The man who knew.
Too much.
Oh, sorry, too much. You're right. No, that's not it.
That's too much for me. That's what I was trying to say.
Jeez, you screwed me up.
I like Stripes. Stripes pretty good, especially John Candy in that with his little part. And John Candy was supposed to be the tough fat guy.
1997 film. Well, Bill Murray plays he in London to celebrate his birthday with his brother James Peter Gallagher, his rich brother or younger brother, hapless American Wallace Ritchie. Bill Murray gets signed up to participate in an elaborate role-playing theater performance. However, when Wallace accidentally receives a call intended for an actual hitman, he gets caught into a web of intrigue and completely unaware that the action unfolding around him is actually real. Luckily, the lovely Lori Joanne Wally is around to help the clueless guy out of tight spots. The man who knew too little.
The man who knew too little.
Yeah, you should watch that one. It was really cool. He played a spy. You know, he's playing a regular guy playing a spy. And he thinks everything's fake, but it's actually real.
Now he wasn't in Spies Like Us. That was Dan Aykroyd, and was that who it was with Dan
Chevy
Aykroyd?
Chase.
Chevy Chase. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
All right, so the three top Bill Murray films that I can think of right off the hand is Scrooge, Groundhog Day, and The Man Who Knew Too Little.
right, and I never seen that one, so I'm gonna go Scrooge, Groundhog Day, and Stripes.
Stripes is good too.
Yeah. Now Chevy Chase. Top 3 Chevy Chase movies.
Oh man, Funny Farm is a good one.
It was all right. Yeah.
Of course, National Lampoon's vacation movies, all of them.
Which one? Oh, not the last one though.
I like the original one. I like the European. I love the Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, the Vegas one was all right too.
The Vegas
But not
was
the-
all right.
Not the last one where he supported the family.
Well, he was a cameo appearance basically.
Yeah,
In the
that's
last.
that movie was horrible. I was like,
Yeah. Wasn't. I mean, they did a good job of trying to make it more of like the original, but it doesn't work without Chevy. You know what I mean? Chevy and D'Angelo, Beverly D'Angelo, them two are kismet, man. It's just perfect characters for that.
oh yeah, that's my Chevy Chase movies. I didn't like the Fletch movies too much. I mean, they're okay.
Fletch was okay.
But I say
But
his
Funny
National
Farm was
Lampoon's Funny Farm. I think that's about it. I can't even think of anything else. Dan Aykroyd.
Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers, yeah.
I
let me
think it's
Google it.
Ghostbusters, but I don't.
Ghostbusters. What are the top Dan Aykroyd movies? I need a little help.
Dan
Blues Brothers.
Aykroyd is credited in more than 60 movies.
Coneheads.
Here are the first 3. Blues
Trading
Brothers,
Places.
Ghostbusters,
Trading
1980.
Places.
Trading Places.
Trading
Yeah.
Places.
The hell's that one? Great Outdoors. Great Outdoors.
Oh,
I give
Great
that one.
Outdoors, yeah, with John Candy, yeah.
Right. I don't remember him in Tommy Boy. You remember him in? Oh, he was some head top guy in Chicago, and
Not
Tommy
really.
Boy. He had a small part. It wasn't that big.
Yeah.
Now, My Girl, he played the father of the girl. You know,
Well,
it was a good part, but it wasn't a big part. So, God, you gotta go with that.
he was in Driving with Miss Daisy, wasn't he?
Who? Well, he might have been. Yeah, I think he was like the son or a family member of
Yeah.
Daisy or something like that. Yeah. So you really got to go. I mean, Trading Places, Blues Brothers, and fucking Ghostbusters. Really, I mean, what the hell else you gonna go with, right? Spies Like Us. That wasn't a great movie, I don't think.
Nah.
Anything else? That's about it. Yeah. I mean, Pearl Harbor had a good part too, but it was a small part. Yeah.
It's just like Three Amigos with Chevy Chase. It wasn't that great, you know.
Yeah. Ghostbusters, Great Outdoors, and Coneheads.
The Three Amigos.
Or not Coneheads. What did I say? Coneheads?
Coneheads is
Blues Brothers, Ghostbusters, and Trading Places. Yeah.
I mean, if you get into a serious acting, then you got the Driving with Miss Daisy. And
small parts. Yeah. Pearl Harbor. Yeah.
Yeah, where he's being more serious and everything. But
right. But they're all small parts. He's not the main actor. You know, it's like horrible.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget, you got Dragnet with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, that wasn't all that great either.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
Steve Martin, last one. Steve Martin, Jammer.
The Jerk.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The Jerk
Steve Martin's top
number one
movies. The Jerk. I'm trying to think. I can't even think of it offhand. I need help.
He had the one when he was playing the Father of the Bride. Remakes. Father of the Bride.
Oh, shit. I forgot this one. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, of course. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. The Jerk, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Three Amigos. Parenthood. Yeah. The Jerk. Sergeant Bilko. I never heard of that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Sergeant Bilko.
Man, I think I might have to go with some of those top ones I got here. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Oh, yes. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. You got it. Okay. All right. So The Jerk, Great Outdoors. Not Great Outdoors. What was the other one? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Planes, Trains, and
Jerk,
Automobiles.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with Michael Caine.
One of his other big... Yeah, Roxanne was one of his big ones. The big nose.
Yeah,
I didn't like it, but...
The three movies I just named are probably the top ones that I would pick.
Father of the Bride.
That's a remake, and it's all right, but I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit. Damn it, Jammer. Yeah, I would probably go The Jerk. Definitely Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And then his last one, I don't know what really to go with it. They're my two favorite right there.
You should watch the other one that I told you about.
How about Bowfinger with Eddie Murphy? You like that? Or no? No, it sucked.
That sucked.
Steve Martin sucks more than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, as far as movies go, he's been in several movies, but not all that great movies.
Yeah. I mean, Planes, Trains, Automobile has to be my favorite. But
that's probably the number one film, and then The Jerk, and what was the other one that I said?
Were you going Three Amigos, or are you going...
No, not Three Amigos.
I forgot what the other one you said. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with Michael Caine.
I don't even think I saw that one.
Yeah, that's where they play con artists.
Yeah.
And Michael Caine is this older con artist that has got his routine down pat. He's got the local authorities paid off. They help him and all that stuff, con these women out of money. And here comes young Steve Martin conning women and trying to... And then they both get conned by this woman.
You know, Steve Martin is part of the Five Club or whatever it is called. Saturday Night Live, you've hosted the show more than 5 times or whatever. Yeah. 5 times or more.
Now, murders only happen in my building or this building or whatever. That's the one show that he's in with Martin Short, and he does good in that. It's a good show.
Yeah, he does well with Martin Short. He probably could have had some better movies. Probably had a better script, probably.
Now, if you talk about Martin Short, I would say that one where he shrinks down to inside of, it gets injected inside of,
Oh, with Kurt Russell in the movie or something like
not
that?
Kurt
Or
Russell, but
movie with Martin Short, he gets shrunken like a little bitch. Oh, Inner Space. Inner
Inner
Space, right?
Space, yeah.
Who the hell else was in that with him? I thought somebody big was with him.
Inner Space cast.
I'm trying to browse it. Trying. Dennis Quaid, not Kurt Russell.
Dennis Quaid, yeah. That's probably his number one film, Inner Space.
Wow. Yeah. I've never been a big I mean, some of his stuff's funny, but he's repetitive.
I really must say.
Yeah.
I must say.
Yeah, it's too.
Ed Grimley.
That was funny for about fucking like 6 months.
5 minutes.
Yeah. But their chemistry together, I like their chemistry. Even now,
Martin
when they
Short's
get together,
good, and he does good imitations, so forth, and all that stuff. But he's not the greatest.
Yeah, I mean, some of these people could have been a lot better than they were. You know, they didn't do
Right
enough.
material come around, they could have been a hell of a lot better. Steve Martin, especially, if he had the right material, he would have been a bigger hit than what he was.
And now it's too late because they're all old. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the later generation?
What's that?
Your wife's all. Oh, the later generation. Chris Farley. What's your favorite Chris Farley movie?
I don't know.
Mine has to be Tommy Boy. Is probably Chris Farley's best movie.
Tommy
right?
Boy is a good one. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, that's gonna be his best. I mean, you get that Black Sheep, Hollywood Ninja.
Yeah, Black Sheep is a good one, and Hollywood Ninja is a good one too.
Yeah, I mean, how much could he have done if he survived for another 10 years at least? You know?
Well, he
Same
would
with
have
John
done
Candy.
a lot more, definitely.
Same with John Candy. I mean, John Candy movies. Yeah. Uncle Buck.
John Candy, I would say Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I would say Only the Lonely.
Yeah. I like Uncle Buck.
Third one would be, Uncle Buck would be in the top 3 there. You know, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Uncle Buck, and
John
Only
Candy's
the Lonely.
top movies. Which one was Only the Lonely?
Where he plays the guy, like, what's his name? Ernest Borgnine played in Marty. He plays a single guy living with his mom, decides to try to go out on a date, gets a date, meets a woman, goes out on a date, and next thing you know, they're falling in love. And the woman who was in there was, what's her name? That played with John Wayne. What was it? Only the Lonely.
Only the lonely, only the lonely can play.
Movie, 1991. Maureen O'Hara.
Oh.
The premise for the film is that a romantic comedy or film written by and produced by John Holmes. The film is a comedic take on the premise established in 1953 television play called Marty, and the film 1953 by the Marty. Only the Lonely by Roy Orbison. The story follows a bachelor police officer who is looking to settle down and start a family with a mortuary beautician while coping with his controlling mother who wants him all to herself. If you get a chance, you should watch that one.
How about, here's another one, Jamie. I know you're probably not a big fan of this guy. Adam Sandler.
Now, I would have to... Adam Sandler, to me, okay, of course you have to do Happy Gilmore in the sense of...
right.
I do like the 50 First Dates or whatever that was.
Yes, with Drew Barrymore. That's probably one of Drew Barrymore's best movies too.
Movie, yeah, and I don't even like Drew Barrymore.
Neither do I. Yeah, 51st Dates, Happy Gilmore. I'd say probably fucking Billy Madison as far as a weird comedy.
Yeah.
But Click was all right. Fast forwards his time.
Click. Yeah. That was a good one.
What the hell's the other one there? Big Daddy was all right. Crazy Eyes.
Yeah, I don't care about this.
You know, like Big Daddy? That was a good one.
I don't even remember Big Daddy.
That's the one where he gets the kid. His friend got a woman pregnant. She drops off the kid. The dude takes off, so he's taking care of the kid.
And they're pissing on the wall.
Scuba Steve, yeah. Scuba
Pissing
Steve.
on the wall.
Could have been pissing on the wall, yeah. I remember the Hooters. Why she with the guy, old sweaty balls,
Yeah. Okay. That was all right.
That's probably his top movie. Zohan, Waterboy. Waterboy was all right.
Wow, Waterboy's okay, yeah.
Yeah. That's probably about it. The Longest Yard sucked. I like Little Nicky. I have a special place in my heart for Little Nicky, a little demon child.
Honorable mention, huh?
I like your big, juicy hiney. Let the chicken slide down your throat, ho. That's a good one.
All right.
Yeah. All right. You got me there. And I would go even further, but I'm not going any further with any more Saturday Night Live characters at all.
My memory was Shagdog.
How many years ago was it? I didn't get that memory.
2022, November 29th. It's a bunch of shrimp cooked in a skillet.
Was it my shrimp or your shrimp? It might have been yours, huh? Hey, you're sending me a picture of your shrimp, huh?
Shrimp.
You sent me a picture of your little shrimp, weren't you?
You loved it.
I think I gave it a heart.
You gave it a heart on. I better go, man. It's already.
Yeah, you better get off here. Yeah, my legs swollen too. I think I got a case of phlebitis again this week. Maybe from riding the bicycle 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
Gout.
I had the pain up in my thigh. Now it's down. It was in my calf. Now it's down towards my ankle. So it must be a blood clot. Wow. And that's on my right side too, with my lungs missing. So if I end up dead in the next couple hours or days. Thanks for watching, everybody. The Spit or Swallow Beer Review and the end of Shagdog.
Yeah, a form of arthritis that causes severe pain, swelling, redness, and tenderness in the joints. Gout.
That's gout. Yeah, well, that's in the joints.
Yeah,
that's in the joints.
Oh, okay. You're not smoking joints?
I wish I was.
You probably feel better.
I don't. This shit. My coworkers smoke. I smell that shit. It smells horrible.
You should tell them to hit you up.
I should.
Yeah, hook me up.
They don't drug test in my workplace, so I might as well, right?
Why not?
They don't drug test you unless you have an accident or something.
Well, you're not going to have an accident.
I fell down last night, though.
Yeah, but you weren't smoking it then, so you go ahead and claim your workman's comp before you smoke it.
Yeah, I wasn't hurt earlier or anything, but. All right, Jim, I got to go too. I got to pee really bad.
All right. Thanks for watching. Comment, and like, and subscribe to the show. I'm Jammer.
We are the Spit or Swallow Beer Review, and I am Shagdog.
That's correct. Yeah, Shagdog.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Take care, guys. We'll see you. Take care. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Tinkle the bell.
Follow the Spit or Swallow Beer Review.
Yeah, it's the wonderfulest of all beer reviews.
Yes, the wonderful things Jammer does. Because of the wonderful beers we drink. All right, we'll see you next.
Take care.